Hey guys, it's Annie here with Universal Parks News Today, joined by Tom Corliss.
That's me.
And we are going to give you our honest review of the new VillainCon Minion Blast attraction at Universal Studios Florida. It is still in technical rehearsals. It is the first day guests have been able to ride. So let's talk about it.
Well, first thing we have to say is this will not be the best produced honest review we've ever done because they're not allowing photography or videography of any kind. So we can only show you so much at this point.
But we have a prop.
And we have our beautiful faces also. So
Just,
but we do have, this is what the gun looks like, but this is the toy one they sell in the gift shop. So
Yeah, but it's a good example. Like you said, no photos or videos at this time, so this is what we're gonna point that thing at me.
this is considerably lighter than the real one.
Yes.
Wow, that was a long one.
Yeah,
So-
some of them are.
So give people the background on this attraction to begin with. Set the stage. Go ahead.
All right. Well, how far would you like me to go back? Can we go back to Shrek?
Oh, I thought you were going to go back to. I thought you were going to go back to Murder She Wrote.
Oh,
Look it up, kids.
Anyway, well, VillainCon has taken over where Shrek 4D used to be at Universal Studios Florida, and in my opinion, I know a lot of people are big Shrek fans, but I think this is a big improvement.
I can't argue that. I mean, I didn't think Shrek 4D was very good. But let's be honest, the pre-show was fantastic, right? Shrek 4D had a great pre-show and a very bad film after that. If we're going to be honest.
But the pre-show was the part. The team member interactions was what made Shrek.
Pre-show was
I
great.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well,
But the rule of theme parks is be better than the thing you replace. That's always been the rule. And if you're not, then people are upset for a very, very long time. So I don't know that that's going to happen here.
I know that people are going to be always upset about Shrek going away because Shrek has a huge following, but I really think VillainCon is a nice replacement. It is an attraction. It is not a movie, so Shrek 4D was, you sat in the theater. So this is you stand on a moving walkway. It's hard to call it a ride. It's more of an experience.
Considering we've spent how many years complaining as we leave Universal Orlando that the moving walkway is not a ride, it's weird that it now is.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's a little
So now
bit
we're
better.
training people to stand still on the moving walkway, and so now we really can't expect them to walk on it when they leave, right? We're in trouble now.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh no, what?
We've conditioned them now to stand
yeah.
on moving walkways. I didn't
Yeah,
think about
I
it.
think
Now
so.
oh no, I totally take back what I said.
But anyway,
Action's gonna be a problem. Just kidding.
it's a ride in that you go somewhere, right? You're not walking.
No,
Go.
it takes you very slowly, but it's not just like a straight path. I think that's the thing is, again, there's no videos inside or anything, so it's hard to show you, but we're going to try to explain to you. But the path, it's a moving walkway, but it does kind of snake around
Like
and
a ride
move.
path, right?
Yeah.
So just think like the Buzz Lightyear rides or Men in Black if you took away the ride vehicle.
And you were the ride
If
vehicle
you
that you turn towards the scenes, because it does
It's
turn
like
you
Disney
towards
Enchantment.
the
You are the magic. Now you are the ride vehicle.
I feel like a doom buggy when I'm in there. I feel
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
you
Yeah,
know,
because
like,
it moves like a ride. Yeah.
It turns you
But
towards the scenes.
You are the ride. We should make sure it's you are the ride vehicle.
I like that. Well, so when you are boarding the attraction, there are dots that you will stand on. There are alternating ones on the platform. There's a orange one and a blue one. And if you move off your dot, your gun will not work. So make sure you stand still.
I hate when that happens. Can we talk about the queue?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the queue.
okay.
So like the first section of queue is kind of what it's always been, right? It's just a covered outdoor queue, and there's definitely overflow out there in the alley like there used to be for Shrek, and what most of the time though ends up being a Horror Nights house queue, right?
Yeah.
So that's still there, and there's a pre-show video that's probably 5 minutes long. It's short,
It's short.
but it's entertaining.
It's really cute. A lot of
Yeah.
little Easter eggs too.
Don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty well written. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think they did a nice job. Maybe they'll add more to it. It probably needs to be slightly longer, but yeah. So there's one out that first part, and then that second covered queue. There's another like 5-minute video essentially.
Yeah.
And
Kind of gives you the background of what the history of VillainCon, how it started, how it's progressed, and how it's now, you know, a cosplay contest going on and such.
So if you're like me and you're not the world's biggest Minion fan and have no idea what's going on, this will do a decent job explaining it to you. The second pre-show does a pretty decent job introducing this as like a parody Apple device. It's by Rotten, which has an icon that is a half-eaten, or I should say mostly eaten apple.
Yeah, Apple Core.
And so this, like, it's very Apple commercial, like 20 years ago. This comes out of the, almost Terminator-esque actually, comes out of like that silver goo. And then they explain what this will do, and it's, I mean.
Well, it's a part of one of the booths is selling this, so this is supposed to be like a new item that you can buy at one of the booths. And it's like a convention, so there are different booths that have different offerings as you go into, which is one of the most impressive things, which Universal always does an amazing job with their queues. They're always really detailed, really themed, and this one just beautiful.
The one room of queue that they built is phenomenal, and it really feels like you're at what would be a villain convention. I also have to say, like, I've been to a lot of theme parks. I've seen a lot of attractions. I think this is the first one themed to a convention. Someone can correct me on that, but I don't know that I've ever seen a theme park ride that's themed to like a fan convention, like a Comic-Con or.
And the cosplay.
So it's fun, right? There's a lot of fresh material because no one's done it before, right? There's certainly movies and TV shows, obviously Minions, that have parodied the conventions, but never a theme park ride. So something different.
Yeah. So then they have the different booths as you go up, and one of the booths does display this new blaster, which apparently it won't even leave your fingerprints, so you can, you know, commit crimes and get away with it. So that's a good thing to have.
Line up, kids. We're gonna do some murder. Oh, did you know it projects?
No.
It's a good thing you left that rod in the shot because now people can see it. It's shooting the Vicious 6 logo onto the pole.
That's cool. Wow.
Never grow up,
way
kids.
Cooler. $35, I'd buy that.
Oh, that one doesn't do it. Just the mega power, whatever you want to call that.
Power up blastery thing.
So these are on a. So these obviously people just dispose them into a bin at the end of the ride. They're all beaten up already. It's worth noting, like every single one is really scratched up. This is day one. But the cool thing is when you're after the queue, when you get to the end, these are on like a conveyor belt wall, and they sort of come at you. And if they have a blue light, you're good to grab it. Yellow you think is half charged.
Yeah, but red is not charged at all.
So I know I'm ruining the audio with this thing. So the pre-show said grab a yellow or a blue, but then when we actually went, the team members were like, no, just grab a blue one. So that may change, who knows,
But that conveyor belt is really cool. It's
neat.
like, there's like 3 levels of the blasters, and so they're charging, but they're slowly moving on this conveyor belt.
It's a gun rack conveyor belt.
It's really cool. I just thought it was cool. And again, they're charging on there, so, you know, but you do pick up your blaster and then...
it's heavy.
I've ridden 8 times at this point. My arms are going to be dead tomorrow. I'm sorry.
And he's going to be swole.
Yeah.
They'll have to put you in the Vicious 6 now.
Right. Well, you know, the thing that's missing right now is that they don't have the app set up yet. So they are working on that. You will be able to keep track of your scores, have your icon and things like that. And on the attraction, you pick up little items like little props and things, and I wonder if they're going to be stored into your app or anything. So before you get on,
collect items.
Yeah. So before you get on, which again, it's not. We'll show you when it starts working, but you'll take your phone and open the Universal app, and it'll be ready to scan, and then you'll, I think, scan it to the blue part here, which. Ooh. Yeah.
So this is all very reminiscent of the power-up band, isn't it?
Right.
In that instead they're not selling you a device in this case, but the phone kind of acts as the power-up band, right? So in Super Nintendo World, you tap the power-up band to whether it's the Mario Kart, the steering wheel, and Yoshi, just the eggs, and then on the app you collect items, right? So it's very similar, right?
Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that, because there were boxes that you were blasting, and then there were like little items that like looked like
Action
little vicious,
figure,
yeah,
hat,
vicious six
baseball
toys,
cap,
yeah. So I think those are going to be items that you'll probably be able to collect. But again, that's not set up yet. It's still technical rehearsal, so you know that's.
Annie will be here when it's turned on to tell you all about it.
I'll know all about it. Much like the blasters, we need batteries.
Yeah, this vlogging camera that we use, probably by the time I finish the sentence, the next battery will be dead, but we'll keep going.
All right, let's do the best.
Where'd you leave off? We were talking about the app?
We were talking about the app, I think, which doesn't exist yet, but soon.
Eventually.
Well, the app does exist, but not the. Anyway, so when you get your gun, the thing you'll want to look at.
Annie, get your gun. How many times you heard that today?
I haven't heard it at all.
Get out of here.
No.
Wow, that's some low-hanging fruit.
Disappointing.
Come on, Universal crowd, get with it.
They don't have the jokes you do, Tom. All right, so this, I pressed the button. Vicious 6. I got a Vicious 6 tattoo on my face now, right? Anyway, I gotta talk before this battery dies. Okay, so this is just like your gun that you're gonna pick up, and you will have this here. It does display your points. It does display your power-ups, your super power-ups, which I'll explain in a moment. But when you first get it, you'll want to look at it because it'll show your emblem, which is what you're going to see on the screen. So when you're looking at the screens, everybody has a different icon. So it might be like a red V or a pink VillainCon symbol or a green like lightning bolt or whatever.
That's where you're aiming. It's an aiming indicator, right?
Yeah, it's like your crosshairs.
Yeah.
So, but it'll disappear off your screen once you get on the moving belt. So you'll want to look before you get on the moving belt to see what you are. That way you figure it out. And then
You'll also be a certain color, and this will light up when it shows you what your icon's going to be. This is going to light up while you're in that like preload area. This will light up in the color you're going to be too.
So there's 2 triggers. That's the important thing. There's the regular one here, which has the unlimited ammo, and then there is a trigger at the top, which is for the power-ups. You will start with the 5 banana power-ups, which are like, you want to save those for the villains. The unlimited ammo, you want to collect other things, hit the boxes and stuff like that.
Well, to explain that further, so each scene there are a number of items to shoot at, also like henchmen essentially, and then main villains who are the other 5 of the Vicious 6, right? And I guess there's some of them that aren't even Vicious 6 characters.
Yeah, they've got like
some. Was it Vector?
Vector's in there. Jean-Claude, I don't think he's.
Yeah.
We gotta watch these movies.
But so there's essentially, if you look at it like a video game, there are, mini bosses and main bosses, right? And so what Annie's saying is you probably want to use your regular ammo on those little bosses or those items if you're trying to break open boxes, explode TNT, shoot the orca from Jaws, whatever the case may be. Use that, and then if you're shooting like Jean-Claude or the main villain, it'll be hard to miss. They're usually a little bigger. Use your special ammo. Make sure you have it though in that little screen though. And in order to get it, make sure you pick up those boxes that have those icons on it.
Also, you can change your unlimited ammo. There are 3 different ones, and also this is going to kind of show you as well. There is ice, there is fire, and there's electricity. And so you'll see on your display while you're on the ride at the bottom, it'll show that icon so you'll know which ammo you have. There are boxes going across the screen that you can change it. So if you have like fire and you need to change to ice, there are boxes with a snowflake on it. You hit that and then it'll change the icon on here, and then you will be essentially shooting ice, which I've heard that can like benefit with hitting some of the villains to slow them down, because then they'll be frozen and then you can shoot at them because they'll be slowed down. So
you shouldn't just shoot the special, you should use the special as a setup in some cases.
Yeah, so there's a lot to it, obviously. It's going to take a lot of times playing, but this, again, the toy gun is kind of a good example. You can see the snowflake. I believe that's electricity.
Yep.
And then, what's that, fire?
Fire.
Yeah.
That was quick, that one.
So, yeah.
And that was a lightning bolt, actually. I don't know what the green is like a shockwave?
I think it's electricity, yeah.
No, there's a lightning bolt.
Oh, there's 4. There's 4.
Yeah.
There's
another. What about the fist?
Oh,
I've had that metal fist. Yeah.
I think that's a power up because there's one that's a disco ball too. Some of the
Yeah.
power ups are.
So
But
there are some that aren't the main four also.
I was gonna say that I saw there's like 4 little icons on there,
Yeah.
and I saw that I only had 3 of them lit up, and I thought it said on the sign that if you collect all 4 of them, that you become more powerful.
I have had the 4 together
Oh,
on the screen.
I don't think I have. So that
There's still a lot to learn. Like again, Annie's been on it 8 times today and me 3, and I still don't think we have the full grasp of
Yeah.
how to correctly play. And the other thing that's funny is I think you said this too. When the first time Annie's like, do you want me to explain anything? I go, no, let's just see what happens. And I got 820,000, which apparently is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then once she explained everything, I did worse both times. So it might be better to not know anything and just shoot a bunch and hope for the best. I don't know.
That's a good way to go. I mean, just blast everything.
But we're still learning. The moral of the story is we're still kind of learning.
Yeah, but there's physical props, so there's like cubes that have like the fire that's like physical, and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
screens as well.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a combination of both. And then you go from scene to scene, and then each scene has a different villain that you're battling against. And again, it's just a lot of chaos, a lot of minions everywhere, boxes everywhere, coins.
Don't
are
shoot the
fun.
minions.
I've tried.
I mean, if you're a parent, you might want to. Maybe that's the enjoyment of the ride for you.
Well, I think I'm not a big fan of minions, but
That's not my thing, yeah.
I'm a fan of villains. I like villains.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I mean, in the pre-show's super fun. I love the news anchor guy. I don't even know his name. On the VNC. That's he's great.
There are a lot of really good jokes in that
Yeah.
commercial. So
We won't spoil them.
yeah, we spoil enough around here. Anyway,
I feel like that's aimed at me.
anyway. Well, so there's multiple scenes. And there's a lot. I think what are there? 8 villains? 8 scenes? 7 villains? I think 5. 7.
I didn't count the room.
There's a lot. There's different rooms. So
It doesn't feel short.
no,
It's probably 3 to 5 minutes.
but it does feel
somewhere
like
in
a
there.
workout. Like again,
It's so heavy.
Heavy.
So
heavy.
we have Maddie and her kids wrote today. What was the feedback she gave you?
They
with her
loved
small
it.
kids.
Yeah, so they loved it. She said they didn't know what they were doing, but they just loved
Neither
it. They
did
loved
I.
it. Well, and you loved it too. You love Minions too, I'm sure.
We'll talk about my review with you.
Well, Maddie said that the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Her biggest praise was there's no height requirement. They do have to stand. They have to be able to stand.
For a
but-
ride at Universal, like this is not the easiest park with kids. That's a big deal.
That was the thing that when I saw there was no height requirement,
Yeah.
that's great. She did have to stand with her youngest one on the same dot and help them hold the blaster, which apparently that's a thing you can do, so that's great. They did say that if he could stand on the dot and not move around, that was fine, but I think she kind of deemed that it was better that she helped him hold the heavy gun and stood with him. So that's an option. So if you think the kid standing on a dot is an issue, then you can help them. So that's kind of a nice thing. So again, just got to be able to stand, no height requirement. They do have to be 48 inches to ride alone, or they have to have a supervising companion. But I think that's one of the benefits. She loved it. Her kids loved it. I think they did it at least 4 times. So that's
I think it's going to be a
positive.
big, again,
repeatability.
in a park with so little that little children can do. I think it's a great addition. Like it doesn't even matter if I like the ride or not. It's good that there's more for kids that small to do. That's not a playground.
And the capacity seems really good. Like it's a real fast loading. I mean, there were little breaks in the queue where you aren't moving, but again, it's technical rehearsals and
People
things
are
like
going to
that. Yeah, but I feel like it's just kind of a continual loading. It's not like vehicles being, loaded and stuff. So at least you won't be waiting very, very long periods of time. Hopefully, again, we'll figure that out. But we didn't have very long waits when we waited,
No, which on a soft opening day of a new thing that has apparently been having problems, which is why it's opening a little later than expected. That's a big win for them, I'm sure.
I never encountered any problems when I rode, so
it's clearly
so far, so.
operating. The only thing I noticed a little bit was, and I'm sure they're working on it, there were some frame rate drops for sure in the video. So there's sometimes where too much is going on and it'll get real kind of like a Nintendo Switch game. It'll get real that animation will become like stop motion a little bit, but I'm sure they're working on it.
It's a very, I think, complicated ride, but it works. I mean, at least I shouldn't say that too soon, but so far it's worked.
For being a new thing, on its first day, it's doing well.
And it is different, it's not a ride. I think that's what people keep saying is, what kind of ride is it? And if you look at it as a ride, I think you'll be disappointed. If you look at it as an experience or something that, like people can compete against or repeat, again, if you like keeping track of scores, if you like, trying to do better, if you like gaming, I think this is a total win. Again, no height requirement, a total win for kids. I think there's a lot of positive to say about it.
Yeah. I'm me, and I'm at this point when I'm like, I'm tired of screens. I'm just tired of everyone just doing screens. And it's a shame, right? Because based on that one queue room, like they could do something really cool. And I think, there's a lot of screens in Secret Life of Pets in Hollywood, but that ride really works. It's a pretty solid dark ride. I'd still put that a notch above this, but this meets a need for this park. I think it's fun enough. I think it's repeatable. I think it's high capacity. So I think it's definitely better than what it replaced. It has to be a win. It's not the greatest thing ever. It's not going to change the theme park world forever. But it doesn't have to. It needs to fulfill a need for this park, which it does. To our third battery now.
All right. Well, I've got to ask you, would you prefer VillainCon or Mario Kart?
I mean, Mario Kart's always at least an hour away, if not more. This could be higher guest satisfaction just based on if it is moving walkway and it keep people rolling. If this is like a 10-minute wait, I prefer this. Honestly, like, look, Mario Kart is beautiful. I've had my review of Mario Kart.
That's
beautiful sets. It's fun enough. I don't want to wait 2 hours for it, but I think Mario Kart's still, as far as overall experience higher, but as far as guest satisfaction, this could deliver better, I think.
How about this or Men in Black?
I like Men in Black. I still prefer Men in Black.
Oh no, I like the shiny new VillainCon. Sorry.
The gun's similar, right? It's not terribly different.
Oh, I know, but I love Men in Black, and so I feel like this is like a better, more advanced version. You don't know. I'm competitive.
Men in Black is great, right? Like, based on the score you get, that end scene changes. Like, come on, that was impressive for 1999.
I'm competitive, so anything that, is, I gotta, get a score and I can do better the next time. Yeah. I like that. That's
they could both exist,
no,
but
but
I'm picking Men in Black over them.
Oh.
Push the red button. You know me, I don't like anything.
I know, but you wrote
but
it 3 times.
This is fine, it's solid.
Yeah.
It
must
no, but
have
I
been
get
okay.
it, like again, like there's I know so many people with kids, and they are all like, I can't go to that park, there's nothing to do. And so it's, even like Minion Mayhem has a height requirement, right?
Yeah.
So...
Or you can do stationary seating, but
yeah,
still,
again...
But you're waiting 2 hours to do, to sit in a jiggly seat, so...
But between this and the DreamWorks Land, I think there's a great focus on doing more for families with young kids.
Yeah.
And
keep them here while I'm at Epic Universe.
They're actually listening, right? They're listening to what the people that come here want, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah. No, I think Universal does a great job of listening and taking guest feedback, and I like seeing these changes. I think this is kind of, it's outside the box idea. It's not just like they didn't just slap another movie in with theater seats like they did before. They actually put a new attraction. So I loved it. They had
Shrek. They took away one theater for Horror Nights to do a house in there, right? And so what eventually happened, they were like, all right, well, we really like having that Horror Nights space. So you can have half a building. And they're like, well, we have half a building to build a ride. How do you do it? And they came up with a creative solution to their credit, right?
No,
they solved a problem, and it'll probably score well with guests. I don't think anyone could have done a better job with such a limited amount of space.
I love it. But I will say my favorite thing, gotta say before we go, my favorite thing is a little psycho baby.
That's not nice to say about Maddie's kids. She knows which one I'm talking about. It's fine.
And on that, look for the Psycho Baby. There's probably a few of them now. There's no height requirement. Sorry.
But we don't know an opening date yet. But it's in technical rehearsals. It may be open. It may not until they announce a date.
Yeah. Well, especially without the app going and stuff,
Yeah.
I expect that until everything is really going, we won't have an official date. But usually technical rehearsals, they kind of keep it rolling, usually most of the days it's open.
Yeah.
So you have a good chance of coming out and seeing it if you want to try it.
It's on Illumination Avenue, part of Minion Land. Tell them about the other videos they can watch.
You can watch our Bake My Day review, our Minion Cafe review,
I'm partial to
or
that one.
he is, but my personal favorite, the Freeze Ray Pops review.
It's only a minute and a half, but man, is it glorious.
Thanks.
Watch someone eat popsicles on the hottest day ever recorded. It's phenomenal.
It's great. It's great.
But you close things out. All right.
Well, thanks so much for coming all the way down here.
All the way down.
All the way down here.
I mean, I-4, yeah, so
Yes.
it's pretty far.
Well, after I've improved a little, come back and we'll compete.
We both got worse.
Well, that's why I need to practice.
I need to just shoot things again and not worry about the buttons or the boxes.
I think we have time to ride one more time.
Let's go do that.
Let's do it.